Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby. This is my show. Thank you for tuning in on this fine, very fine Tuesday. How y'all? What's up, What's up, Jose, Mr. Pink, Kaya? What's up, Kaya? Kevin, how? Everybody, use name, Chris, David. I see y'all rolling into the chat. I'm live. What's up? American Anchor Baby. I want to get into a couple of things. Stuff that's on my mind a little bit. It'll be a little political, but it won't be all political. As these things are, they speak on the deeper truth at times, huh? But even on the other side of this, there's some interesting things I want to get into. You know, maybe a little dating, maybe a little bit of what's happening, okay? So I got some things for you. We got a nice show. You can also call in to the show. You can call 888-775-3773. If you want to tune in, if you want to jump on the air, talk to your host, the American Anchor Baby. I'm live on Rumble, Twitch, Gorgonzola on Twitch, and American Anchor Baby on Rumble. That's rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. And you can support and watch on any of those platforms. I do appreciate it. You know, chatting away and all that, it helps. So appreciate that. You heard, I'm sure you saw the Iowa stuff. The caucus, Iowa caucus. They're choosing the president, the Republicans are. And I was paying some attention there. So I was thinking about them a little bit. And about Trump and stuff. There's some interesting things there. I got ICE on hold, says username. Well, don't worry. I'll show them my American passport, my U.S. passport, denoting that I am, in fact, a citizen. So username. That's not going to work. Very funny. You see, my parents, my mother abused the immigration laws fair and square. So try that with some. I hear the Patriots already. See, Nick is will always feel bad for the immigrants. Ice looking. Anyways. I do want to get into Trump and stuff. There's some interesting topics there. You know, I was mentioning, I think yesterday I was showing you just how lost most people, I guess just how, you know, you pick out most people, it seems. You pick out pretty much anybody. And they'll be kind of like really out of their depth when it comes to just basic stuff, American civics. And hey, I'm one too, don't get me wrong. But it seems to be like it's always the people getting into the conversation and arguing and voting that get this wrong. They're totally out of their depth. So that's why it kind of matters. They'll argue about immigration. I showed you how some of these towering intellects debating on the Democrat side, liberal side, didn't even know simple things like, well, if a state has more population, if a state has more population, well, the census will count more and they'll have more vote. They'll have more power in an election. Okay. It's true. Look it up. It's true. I saw it on the internet. No, but that's almost being too glib about the point here. It's true. It is true. And I wanted to show you something kind of similar. People talking about politics. What's going on with Trump? Philip DeFranco, is this a name you might know? Is he really that big of a person anymore? You know, I mean, his videos get 660,000 views, so it's definitely not just a little channel. 6 million subscribers. Philip DeFranco's been an online commenter for a while here. Dips his toes in a little bit of political news, talking about Lil Nas X and George Carlin and AI. This guy's talking about Lil Nas X, and he's like, how he mocked Christians. This guy's talking about Mr. Beast, AI. Like, what a silly show. Like, who talks about AI? Who talks about Mr. Beast? And I wouldn't do that. Talking mad crap. But I'm a normie like Philip DeFranco. But he dips his toes to the political world here. And he sounds pretty much like any old uneducated liberal. It's almost not even worth showing. Kind of makes a point I want to make, sort of. Might as well show you since I introed it. And we got Philip DeFranco talking about Trump.
And most mysterious thing keeps...
And his legal troubles and all that. I just wanted to kind of set this up a little bit. So here he is.
happening. Any Trump opponent, and that they're trying to or could hold Trump accountable, they for some weird reason keep getting threatened and swatted. With the most recent being this morning, when we got the news about Judge Arthur Engoron. He's overseeing the fraud trial against Trump in New York. He was swatted at his home after someone called in a fake bomb threat. And the timing here is also a key thing, because it comes the same day that closing arguments are set to take place in the case against Trump, and just a day after the judge rejected Trump's attempt to deliver his own closing arguments. Right, and that because Trump and his lawyers failed to agree to certain conditions that the judge had outlined in order for that to happen. So with that, we saw Trump take to Truth Social yesterday, targeting Judge Engoron, saying he was a Trump-hating judge who's trying to screw him.
I know it's a little boring, but just follow me. It's boring because he's a liberal and he's just saying what the media says, what everybody says. And I just want to point out how this is not really... I'd consider him a more kind of regular person, not really in the media. And his audience is kind of like him. Liberal guy, you know, techie, sort of bounces his head everywhere and grins a lot. Look, if you ever see me acting like this, folks, which I'm not going to say I haven't, maybe. Please, if you ever see me bouncing my head around and grinning and just
against Trump,
just way too old to be bouncing, just moving my head around and just like.
For example, the former speaker of the Arizona State House played a key role in fighting Trump's efforts to undo democracy in his state. He returned home the day after Christmas, found it surrounded by cops.
Just slap me if you see me in public like that, okay? And he's talking about these cases, but he's pointing out this targeting language that Trump is saying, which is, he's defending himself, right? It's amazing. He's just using the media's terminology here, targeting, when he's talking about these judges and all that. And he's mentioning how these people like Tanya Chutkan and all that are getting threats and getting swatted. Oh no, they're getting swatted. They're really fine, and we definitely don't want any violence. But and he goes on just to make the point that everybody's making, all the whole media, everybody, the whole world. He incited people to an insurrection. He won't even say the word insurrection though, but that he incited all these people to attack the Capitol.
Escalating. And all of this as he now calls the people he incited who attacked our Capitol on January 6th, people who attacked Capitol police officers who tried to stop the peaceful transfer of power, hostages because they're being held accountable by the law. And there's no reason to believe that what he is saying, what he is inciting, or any...
Oh yeah, he already said it. Like, repeating media lies. The cops, targeting language, defending that he won't say insurrection, but the people attacked. And he uses that same lie with these cops, that the cops died, they held hostage, they fought with the cops, these people died. Same old language here, okay? So, but people have been saying this, right? There's no surprise. But it's almost shocking, I guess, to those who maybe don't know, that so many, your own neighbors, you got to understand that he's kind of a regular guy. That's how I see him. Yeah, he's been very sort of famous on YouTube for many years now, and he's... I'm sure not like economically speaking, like maybe your average person, but he really does think like them. And he's kind of an average normie guy, and so I think it's just indicative of a couple things here. Indicative, right? Indicative. So just like the Iowa caucus is, like these beginnings of 2024, these moments these first moments in this 2024 race, a lot of eyes, a lot of people paying attention for signs. I mean, some are quite clear, like the steamrolling of Trump, with all the other candidates being far, far behind. But these are all things that people are watching. Okay, Iowa. You know, it's like the first. It's not a poll. It's not a poll. It's not a projection. It's people. In this case, the people in Iowa actually putting in a vote, putting in their word. Okay, who do they want? So that's why it makes it significant, right? It's the first one, and it went down. Okay, and there was an upset for some, I guess. VIVEK Ramaswamy. You probably heard Joel mention it on the Hake Report, maybe. Vivek Ramaswamy dropping out of the race, dropping out of the presidential race. You know, I was going hard on him a little yesterday. Not that I think I was wrong, but maybe I was just being a shallow reaction person. Because really, he's been saying what he was saying, and I think I even mentioned it. So it's really no surprise. It really shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Because as we know, anyone who's honest in this race is going for Trump. The way it was, how 2020 went down, he didn't get to finish. All the people in his cabinet, I didn't realize some interesting details about that, just how bad it was and why it was so bad. You know, they talk about the people in the Trump administration. It was a huge wrench in the whole thing. So yeah, Vivek's been saying this. But maybe he heard the anchor baby, or I heard he talked to Trump. He ends up dropping out, as any smart person would do. Or maybe he saw he got like 7% in the Iowa caucus over there. But he has this whole thing. He has this whole thing where he's saying, okay, well, vote for him, vote for Vivek, because that way you could save Trump. Because unlike Trump, Vivek has, like he says, young legs. He's not wounded. He's not referring to pretty much the bad reputation, the establishment, everyone going after him, the legal troubles and all that. He's saying, I got young legs. Vote for me. We can actually get done what he started. I'll get it done. We'll pardon Trump, but they'll just go after him. Red herring, it'll be like super strategic, okay? They'll send all their missiles to Trump, leaving us unscathed, and we'll do the killing blow, saving Trump and saving the world. Like, it's devoid of a little bit of Mr. Smart Guy. It's devoid of a little bit of logic in that, well, if you agree, like Vivek speaks, that, well, they're going after Trump, that they're trying to stop him to do all. That's why they're going after. That's why they're wounded. That's why he's wounded, and I have the fresh legs because of everything he tried to do. So I'll do it, but they won't wound my legs. It's just ridiculous. Whatever forces, democratic, political, and beyond, have tried to stop Trump. It's the same, Vivek. I don't know what you're talking about. And so between the two, well, it becomes easy. Yesterday, tens of thousands of voters stepped out into life-threatening cold temperatures to Caucus, which has the same energy as a neighborhood meeting, but more popcorn buckets. The skim is they're very emotive in their reporting sometimes. Within about a half hour of the Republican caucuses started, Trump sailed to first place. He won at least 20 of Iowa's 40 delegates with more than 50% of the vote. And I see your calls coming in. I will get to you. What about the race for second place? Nail biter of the night, Ron DeSantis. I mean, who cares, right? First place loser. And so all that's going down, right? Iowa. But here's an interesting thing I learned about the whole process. There's a bit of a change up, because it's the Republicans having their caucus in Iowa, get a feel of the stage of the stage and who's voting for who, how's it going down, how are the people feeling in Iowa. Well, the Democrats are supposed to as well. They're supposed to have their thing alongside. Historically, for the first time in several cycles, Democrats are taking a much different tack. They've ditched the Iowa caucuses altogether, at least when it comes to selecting a presidential nominee, as Republicans host voters at their designated caucus locations. The Democrats will hold party business meetings to elect unbound and alternate delegates. Unlike their Republican counterparts, the Iowa Democratic Party will not host an in-person presidential preference contest, opting instead for mail-in ballots, listing incumbent President Joe Biden, Dean Phillips, Marianne Williamson. I feel like I know Marianne Williamson. Who's that one? Is that the crazy lady? Or is that mean? That might be mean. But they did bill her as a kind of wacky, no? Yeah, it is. Marianne Williamson. Haven't heard that name in a bit since 2020. But they're not doing what they're historically have done with their caucus. So and the reason is this. Look, the reason is what makes it all interesting, because I don't quite understand the strategy. Now, if they were to not hold it at the same time as the Republicans, does it matter who goes first? Like, eventually, if you get the results of these caucuses and primaries from the states, it's all hunky-dory, right? Maybe I don't understand something about the process, but their reasoning is quite interesting. It's par for the course, but you got to understand that the Democrats are the North Star of the Republicans in America. If you pay attention, that's how it is. The Republicans will eventually be the Democrats. Just give them some time. Just give them some time. Democrats, here's their reasoning why they're not doing it the same way. They're under the new calendar. Democratic presidential primary begins in South Carolina. And according to ABC, the Iowa Democrats, they're a little bit like, there was some pushback, according to the article. Like, hey, what's the big idea? Well, these historic changes are because, where is it? Last winter, the Democratic National Committee voted to remove the state from its early primary calendar lineup, partially due to criticism that the state's racial demographics weren't fully representative of the party's base as a whole. So they're going to South Carolina first to show the world, to show America that it's time to change. You know the story. You know the tired old story at this point. But it's the plan, the agenda, it's happening, nothing's stopping it. It's what's happening, folks. Remember, the Republicans do similar things. Didn't they replace George Santos with some Ethiopian, Israeli, some black woman? No whites, they say, basically. That's why they're not having it in Iowa, those Democrats. Par for the course, though. Shouldn't be surprised. Thank you, Santino, for the super chat. Says, do you know what happened when 19 fought 20? 21. Thank you, Santino. I had to read that one out quick. You're kicking off the super chats here, so I appreciate that. One of your first few super chats on this whole live stream. But I shouldn't be distracted right now. Let me finish this up here and get to calls. 888-775-3773 if you want to jump on the line there. I wanted to mention this too, real quick. How hate really hurts all. Trump hate hurts all. Someone made an interesting point here when reading about the Iowa caucus and all this. Well, you got to understand something. How candidates like Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, even the source of some of their votes, okay, and some of their votes, according to these, what should you call them, canvassing organizations? What do you call them? They go around helping candidates, okay, get votes, get ballots, ballot harvesting? No, that's something else. America for Prosperity. They call themselves America for Prosperity Foundation. A libertarian conservative political advocacy group. Right on. Libertarians. And they went around basically to Democrats asking them to vote for Nikki Haley, for example. And they're when you like break it down, the media they put out and their strategies as laid out by someone on Tim Pool's podcast, basically. They're canvassing, they're going to these Democrats and telling them, well, okay, if you don't like Trump, there's a way to deal with it. Vote for Nikki Haley. And so they're projecting something like 5% of these votes are all Democrats that were converted due to Trump hate, okay? These people, you know, you got to understand this. America for Prosperity, instead of going to conservatives and telling them, hey, vote for Nikki Haley, they're going to the Democrats that hate Trump. And so we could get rid of Trump, easy peasy, just vote for Haley. So when Trump wins, eventually, obviously, the primaries and all this, and Republicans go around to get ballots, and they do this, by the way, for many things, not just presidents. Okay, it's just not just the presidency. Let's say they're going around and looking for ballots for local things, city council. I don't know, maybe not city council, but something like school board or something like that. When Trump wins, and the Republicans go around, they're going to go to these Democrats. They have on the rolls these Democrats, and they're going to go to Democrats and say, hey, by the way, Trump, blah, blah, blah. That's just not going to cut it because these are Democrats who hate Trump. Trump hate hurts everybody. It hurts everybody. So I think I got someone who wants to talk about this a little bit. I got Hector. Hector out of New Mexico. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Nick?
No, nothing much here. All is well.
Sweet. So I wanted to ask you, I've been trying to search for answers, but to no avail. Why do you think that the Democratic presidential debates aren't publicized like the Republican debates?
Oh, you know, that's an interesting question. I don't know if I may have like passingly thought about it, but yeah, I can't say it's never crossed my news feeds. I don't see the fanfare, and I'm wondering, am I in a bubble, or do they really just not get publicized? I'm imagining because it's maybe negative, since who do they really have here, right? Who do they really have when you look at the Iowa Democrats who really didn't do anything? The people they had on their mail-in ballots are Biden, Marianne Williamson, and some guy I never heard of.
I believe that Marianne Williamson, I hope I'm not butchering her name, I believe she's the popular vote amongst the Democrats. And if you try searching for any footage on the Democratic debates, the search results are very vague also.
So there are debates, though?
Yeah, I found one video where they're having the debate, but the video quality is very low, and it's not as exciting as the Republican debates. And someone asked like a similar question in the comments, and the only reply that made sense was someone said, "Well, you're lucky they even got aired." So,
wow,
like, what's the deal? Like,
yeah, I wonder what it is. So they are in fact having debates.
They're having debates.
Is Biden at these debates?
You know what? He's not. No, he's not even present. It's just these three obscure candidates running. Marianne, she's really popular, allegedly amongst these people, but I've never heard of her until I tried looking into it. And there's another guy, he's also running, and he's making, just the things that he's saying that he wants to do is just out of the realm of reality also. But
yeah, I'm seeing just like with the GOP debates, you look it up, you see the videos, you got the panels, and you have every candidate there. You look it up, 2016, 2020s, they seem to have been doing it. I wonder if it really is because of Biden or whatever. You
know what? That could be a very good reason. Maybe they're just they don't want to divert the attention off of Biden. Who knows?
Hake mentions, I didn't know there would be debates since Biden is an incumbent president.
Yeah, well, supposedly there are debates, and there's no bells and whistles in this one. It's just a boring video. It looks like a boring town hall video, but it's not. But it's the Democratic debates, though.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. It looks like it was, though. There was debates. It's normal. The incumbent thing makes sense here. Why would they go around debating? And Hake makes another good point here. I mean, it's the same for the Republicans. It seems silly since Trump is the incumbent, basically the incumbent in this case as well. But they're going to go and do it and have their little debates and win second place. Why are they fighting so hard for second place? That was my question.
Yeah, it's really, I don't want to say suspicious, but it's odd that it's not known like the other debates. I mean, I'm sure maybe there's a simple explanation behind it, but it makes you wonder, why are the Republican presidential debates so? Like there's three moderators, which I don't want to add, but they're all women, and they're just telling everyone when to stop speaking. I think the fact that they even have a moderator as a woman is just beyond me. But yeah, I just thought maybe you had a good answer.
Yeah, I think it might not be too out of the ordinary. It might kind of make sense, but also the attention is all on Trump. The attention is on January 6th. The attention is on who's going to be the Republican primary, because they got this guy through these legal things, and it's now supposedly in question. I think that's a bit of a psyop, trying to make us think like it's a bigger issue than it is, but that now it's in question that he'll even be able to run. They're taking him off ballots. That's all the attention's there. It's never happened. It's historic. So really, the whole thing, it's been since 2016, 2020, and now 2024. The whole thing is Trump or either you're like on his side and not that you're MAGA or you hate MAGA. I don't know if you've seen it like that, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Just big division.
You love the country or you
dividing
don't
the
love
wheat and the chaff, just like Jesus.
Wait, say that again?
He came to divide, just like Jesus, the wheat and the chaff. It's not no blurry lines. America's not great. We're going to fix it. And this is what's messed up with it. I mean, and then you're either MAGA or you hate it. There's no in between.
That's right. But yeah, and I had one more question. So this is a rather silly one. Did you hear about that shooting in at a Miami mall?
Miami?
I think
Miami.
Oh God, yeah. I'm really starting to sound like an illegal alien now, but yeah. I guess it's...
You got to speak in the local dialect.
Got my name, Hector, speaking illegal alien, lingo, yeah.
So a Miami mall shooting?
Yeah, there was there was a shooting. I'm sorry. It was not a shooting, but the cops were under the erroneous assumption that there was a shooter. They come to find out that it was just 4 teenagers with fireworks, and there was a substantial police presence because they thought it was a shooting. But now what's happening is that there's a video surfing. There's a video that surfaced on the internet, and I mean, whoever edited it did a really good job, because it looks like after they cleared out the mall, there's just like this creature straight out the film of Aliens, just running around, and
geez, I know what you're talking about. Everyone made this out to be this alien thing, and it was because I don't know if it's because of this, but in part, these profiles on X, on Twitter, they're just like brazen misinformation, like. And they're really good at it, too. They're really good at it. This post was so well written. Like, they showed the footage, showed the police, and it just brazen misinformation. There's reports of aliens at the mall, but it was not even so... It wasn't even written in such a way where you'd think, wow, it was like... Anyways, the point is, it got pushed, and I saw this, too. They're saying aliens at this mall. I mean, obviously, it was ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was the footage. This footage is what got the claim going. You're saying it's edited. And it was this footage, the key point here in the hoax.
Yeah, and now the cops have come out trying to debunk the conspiratorial theory with statements saying that it's all conspiracy. There was no aliens, and now everybody thinks that they're trying to hide something.
The shadow aliens, man.
Yeah, it's really wonky, but it makes you wonder if someone did this for personal gain. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was a perfect opportunity to ride the wave,
go viral,
and get some, and get some monetization off of that baby.
Yeah, get some laughs, go viral. Yeah, I'm just getting more and more tired of confusing stuff. Okay, and I like the conspiracy theorists. I love them. I love AJ, Alex Jones. He was right about atrazine. He wasn't joking. Okay, the Harvard study, the frogs really are turning gay, man. It's I love it. I love it. And I think Joe Rogan said it best too about Alex Jones when he said, he takes a headline, he takes like a fact, and then he'll make a bombastic headline out of it, but there's some truth to it. So I love them, but I'm getting more tired of like confusing things, because like, I say this and it's going to sound real like, lofty, but God is clear. God is clear. And I'm unclear a lot of time. I'm trying to get that out of myself. And I'm getting a little tired of it. Conspiracy theorists, they're usually cowards. They usually don't want to say the real stuff. The real stuff is simple and doesn't make you friends. The real stuff isn't cool and oh my God, aliens and the real stuff doesn't make you friends. Okay, it's anyways, you know what I'm saying here.
That's true. The real stuff doesn't sell. Drama sells. So people want this because people are addicted to the stuff that invokes emotions in you, and if it's just okay, well, the headline says this and this happened, and where's the fun in that?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, no, or even worse though, there is a sort of, though, for those that I'm sure some of may even relate. I've heard Jesse say the truth, something you heard about anger. It's like exciting. It's like there's something exploding inside. You're like, that is just true, and I've never heard it. So there's something about that. But imagine going you know what I'm saying here. You won't make friends going around telling people, you're evil. You Christian? Hey Christian, by the way, you're not. You're pretending to be a Christian. you have anger. It's like, oh man, I wanted to stick to the Apocrypha and I don't know, just some confusing stuff, more confusing stuff.
Yeah. So I hate to add another subject on.
Last thing, and we'll move the wheels here.
Okay, because now it's picking at me. So I'm sure you caught Joel's show, right?
Yeah, I did.
Or at least most of it. So, do you believe in the love language?
No. Like, believe no. Like, do I? But when you ask me, do I believe in it? It sounds like you're asking me if I believe it's love. It's a love language, right? Nah, I don't call it love. I wouldn't call it a love language. It's a hate language.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. I think calling it a love language is like trying to coerce someone into doing something that you know, for lustful reasons or what have you. And I don't know. I just think
it's a hate language, and you're only doing that stuff because you want something anyways. You want a little love. You want a little love. That's why. That's the only reason why you're doing it.
A little love. That's right.
You want some love, and I don't think it's love. It's a hate language because it's like you do that with the purpose of ingratiating yourself, and then you don't get it back, and you get mad.
It's all ego.
It feels like that, yeah. Like there is a point in there is maybe some value in examining behaviors and relationships, and I think people make I think the whole topic gets I don't know, it gets people fired up because you get the different age cohorts. And to be honest, dating kind of does evolve. It does kind of change a little. And so the older generation doesn't quite get it. So it's like, whatever, man. And but there's some things that don't change, like being a man and what a marriage is. Those are timeless things that are forgotten. So a lot of the time people are just kind of talking at each other about the way people date, which has evolved. But anyways, I'm rambling now. I might have something on dating in a bit. What do you think about this? I thought it was a great topic, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You got people going.
I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold off for now, and I'm gonna listen to what you have to say. But I'm gonna ask you: is that click really loud on your guys' end?
When you hang up?
Yeah. Is it?
Like for example, in my headphones, yeah, it's definitely louder than my speech, your speech. It sounds louder in my headphones. And so, I mean, it must be a little louder to the folks at home, too.
The pop. So, is Hake justified in
it may have rubbed off on us because I feel that way, too, a little bit. But I don't know if it was ever that bad.
Because you remember when Hake...
No, I think I'm downplaying it, though, to be fair. It's like a nice hefty click. But I don't know if it's... It's not like a satisfying one, though.
So it's unpleasant.
Yeah, it's abrupt, and it's not like a satisfying like machine click. It's more of like a abrupt. Hey, you know what? Let's try it out. Let's go anti-hero. Let's go crazy, man. Let's go nuts. I say you clicker, man.
Okay, you ready? I'm gonna do it.
I say you friggin' clicker, bud.
I'm gonna pull the click.
All right, ready? Here we go.
All right,
fire in the hole.
Bye-bye.
Oh! I had to do that. The click is so loud it can cause damage to the spine. Fire in the hole. Everybody okay? Are you hearing? Are you just hearing a ring and sudden ethnic chanting? And then you hear, oh, because you're suddenly in Fallujah and you just got hit by an IED. Oh, go, 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 go. But you're just like shell shocked or something. Go, go, go. Well, I can't muffle my voice to do the effect. You guys okay? You guys all right? Is Hank okay? I see your calls coming in. 888-775-3773. Filing a lawsuit. Permanent hearing loss. We said fire in the hole. We said fire in the hole. If you were listening to American Anchor Baby's show and heard a click, you may be entitled to compensation. We're going to see these ads like 10 years from now. We see these like class action lawsuits like 10, 15 years from now. You know how many of those I get? Anybody get these emails where you get these class action lawsuits? It's like, oh, you're a Steam user. You've bought video games using Steam Marketplace. You may be entitled to compensation. And they'll give me this whole spiel that I'm supposed to be morally, I don't know, it's just morally wrong that they use the word monopoly in the email. Ooh, big word. Monopoly. You're right. Steam does have a monopoly. They owe me money. And that just feels shysty. It feels wrong. It feels like these lawyers get together and they get the emails and they see the money and they're like, and I look it up and these people get like pennies. You get nothing. Right? Has anybody actually got any money from class action lawsuits here? You get these emails telling you you're entitled, man. What else did I get? I got one for they're trying to go after all the big companies I support. All the big corporations. I'm basically a corpo. I'm basically a little corpo here giving all my money to corporate. I love corporations. I love the corporations. They have my best interests. And these lawyers, what have they ever done? What have these lawyers ever done? Except go around trying to get me all emotional. Steam, which is like a game marketplace, owes you money because they have a monopoly. This is America, okay? If I want a monopoly, I'm going to go out and get me a monopoly. Anyways. Let's take Thomas out of Michigan. Appreciate your call, Thomas. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
All is well. No complaints.
Good to hear. Good to hear. I want to talk about nuance versus binary.
Nuance versus binary.
Yes, sir.
Are those two terms binary? Are they opposites of each other?
Probably, yes.
Anyways, I'm sure you'll tell us what they mean in their relation. Go ahead.
Yep. So when we see even in politics, we always talk about whether a candidate is perfect for the job. But I believe that there's no discussion to be made because when you boil things down, when you try to simplify things, it is binary. He is either right or wrong. He is either good or evil. He is either speaking the truth or if he's lying or if he is for the things that are beautiful or for the things that are ugly. I think we spend too much time, well, not we, but I think most of the people spend too much time focusing on nuance that does not exist. Because even in the Bible where Jesus said, let your yes be yes and let your no be no.
Dang.
We try to make things too complicated by trying to add our corrupted views towards anything that we're discussing.
I like what you're saying, man. Nuance. Kind of like playing God a little bit.
It is true. It is. I think it is for the ego because we did not want to admit, again, not we, but people did not want to admit that we're wrong. And we try to justify our actions with, oh, the end justified the means, or
with
whatever.
nuance.
I don't even know how to justify things anymore, because if it's wrong, it's wrong. There's no justification for wrongdoing.
Okay, so how about... Go on.
No, go ahead.
Trying to give you some devil's avocado.
Yep, go ahead.
Well, what about, let's say... Well, is there... What would you call then... I guess we'll stick with voting, maybe. You're voting for a candidate. Is there a strategic way to vote someone who you might say, in a binary sense, does not want the beautiful and the good and the true, but but strategically they're right for this time, they're right for that moment. They're the stepping stone to a candidate like that. People aren't going to understand. We need the nuance. People aren't going to. They're not going to win a general election. Am I just confusing now? Are you following me?
No, it makes sense. I think when it comes to that, our nation has fallen. If it's really that bad that we require a stepping stone, then the nation has already fallen. Because in reality, there's no stepping stone.
That's interesting. That's some food for thought there a little bit. I'm thinking about a couple of things here. Yeah, I heard some people just say for bringing people to God, for example, you first, some people aren't ready for certain things. So first you convince them that there is a God. First, you got to get them right. First, you got to get them in. You got to dip their big toe in, okay? You got to get them thinking, okay, that there is a God. And then you got to get them thinking, that sounds a little bit like what you're talking about. That person's already gone. You can't save that person.
And, yep, nobody cannot save anybody. And I think I'll have to... Jesse thumb a little bit here.
All right, hit me.
Yep, where nobody can save anybody. It really is up to that person to see it for themselves. Because before I was born again, no one can convince me of the truth. No matter how good it sounds, I didn't care about it. Until I see it for myself, I am blind. And I took the same approach with other people. I can share what is good, what is truthful, what is beautiful, but if they do not see it for themselves, it really doesn't matter. And it is all up to God's timing, whether God deemed that person, whether it's God's intention for that person to be safe or not. It really should not be our concern, because God is in control. God really is in control.
I do not judge you for Jesse thumping, man. You make sense. We love Jesse thumping, but with awareness. With awareness, okay? And we knowing that we know, otherwise that you're posing like a weirdo, but yeah, we love Jesse thumping. Right on. Yep. That makes a lot of sense. Some food for thought here. This total side note. I wish I could add to what you're saying, but you said it perfectly right there, man. All right. Side note, I was thinking binary. I thought about this with relationships and attraction. And they give you the scale. It's what is she, a 8? Is she a 10? Is she a... And the scale has its place, and there are leagues. I think that's fair to say. Hake said a funny story about being in a woman being in his league, and her thinking all highly of herself. Is a pretty funny story. I think there are leagues. That's fair to say. I think we may even. I think our attraction has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Our attraction is separate from our objective leagues and that where we are. But attraction is binary. Okay, you like him or you don't. It's real simple. And most people are in a range, okay? And most people, like pretty much 99%, I bet you, otherwise, barring like, problems and disfigurings and all that. Most people are in this range of attractiveness, and and you there's someone out there who is a binary yes for you. Like it's the simplest, most common thing. There's I can't find anyone. They say it's but if you see it like this, maybe it won't be so difficult. Attraction is binary, mild or not mild. It's a little Hake report references there. Man, Thomas, appreciate your call. Anything else you want to say before we move on here?
No, sir. I was going to call last Friday, but I was working on my truck and don't want to make too much sound when I was calling you. So
yeah, no problem. Call me whenever. Call me again. Thanks.
Sounds good, man.
All right. 888-775-3773. You want to jump on the air, talk about what you want to talk about. We're talking a little bit about something like this. I got to show you a video. Wake up. Oh, you guys want our play some bets on Thomas from Michigan? My bad. We're going to have to, next time he calls, we're going to have to lay some of these bets to rest here in the chat. What's up? Hey, Bill. Bill, can you point that fan better towards me and revive me? Point life towards me. Oh, Bill coming in with an angel. An angel came to the studio. Oh yeah, right there. Thank you, sir. We got the Vornado. We're talking about. That's right. I got to show you a video. Okay, it's about dating.
Was not
Tinder dates. This man goes on a Tinder date, and he films a little bit of his experience. We got some captions in that old TikTok style. This disjointed storytelling, which sometimes works for short clips, but is also a strange new way of saying stories. Some of you are probably accustomed. Hopefully, it's not too weird. You got the man. He's on the date. Tinder date was mad that she had to split the bill. Oh, what? Ruh-roh. Let's watch what happens. Tinder dates.
Tinder date was not that she had to split the bill.
Slapping her card down. Okay, we're gonna buy it. Fine.
What'd you say?
Why are you splitting the bill?
Well, I mean, it's our first date, so I thought we should maybe go half.
I can't
Let's go
believe
half.
You made us split the bill.
I can't believe it.
I mean, you ordered an appetizer that I didn't even touch. Why do you think that I should
Okay,
pay
but
for it?
you asked me
No
out.
way, bro.
I know, but you ordered something
You
that I did.
asked me out.
All right.
Oh
I'll
my
just take
God.
you home and. All right. See ya. Hello.
No way.
Hello. See ya.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Tinder.
No. Okay, so now we're gonna do the video breakdown. We're doing the video breakdown because dang, there's a lot here. Poor desperate simp date, says Point Fire. Mildly attractive women are better than highly attractive women. Okay, something else. I thought they wanted to be equal, says Bill the Butcher. I mean, all of you already chomping at the bit, ready to break this video breakdown. But let me just tell you, let me just burst your bubble here. This video is fake. Let me just stop you right there. This video is fake. We're gonna break it down. This video is fake. And that's my opinion. I guess I gotta say that. That is my opinion. It is the truth. It is just my opinion. This video is fake. He's filming it. He's filming this, okay? Look, now we got to get the shot. Okay, so he's filming it. He's doing this. He's doing this whole thing where he's filming
split the bill.
Okay, I got to split the bill. Look at my face. I'm not having fun. I'm on a date, but I'm not having fun. Oh, let's get the shot where she angrily slaps down the. Yeah, good shot. Slapping down the card because she doesn't want to pay on a date. Slap it down. Oh, good shot. Okay, next shot.
What'd you say?
She said something. What'd you say?
Why?
By the way, what'd you say is your cue that I started recording, and that's when you say you're lying.
He's splitting the bill.
Well, I mean, it's our first date, so I thought we should maybe.
I thought we were supposed to. Real or fake? He's beta. Fair enough. It could be real. Look, you guys heard me. I said it's my opinion. But if you've been watching my show, I've been trying to train some of you guys, some of my viewers here. I've pointed out, I've done this before when I've pointed out a number of these skits, online skits. And it always looks like you run into something interesting. People start commenting on it. You got the conservatives and now they got to get on it. Be like, look at what's happening in the world. I do that too. But like I've been trying to point out some of these skits for you guys. And I got to say, I think there's another one of them. Could be real, fine. How do you not see the phone pointed? I mean, to be honest, I believe, Nick, it's got to be fake. Men who use TikTok don't date women. I assume everything is fake in the chat. Right on, sir. Very pertinent name. Okay, but you follow me. I've been trying to point some of these out for you guys, training you. Some of you who are not so interneted up as I, which may look. It's like I've taken on this sacrifice for all of you, okay? It's like Bane or something. And I'm just mainlining even more internet, and it's like coursing through my veins, and I'm turning green, and it's like ripping apart my cells. But I understand it more, and I'm doing it for you. Ugh. And I'm just like hanging on, learning how the algorithm speaks, how the AI thinks, so that I could train you guys to see what's fake. Because it's going to get crazier. AI is going to make more videos. You're going to get dumber. Sorry, it's what's happening. Everyone's getting dumber. You're going to get dumber. AI is going to make the videos. You're not going to pick it out. You're going to need God. You're going to need Jesus. But until you find Jesus, until you get saved, and until you drop the anger, therefore dropping the thoughts so that you may not be fooled, I will train you a little bit here. Keep working on yourselves, okay? Don't use this as a crutch. I'm honestly going to have to put you through like a Clockwork Orange gauntlet here, okay? I'm going to strap you down to chairs. We're going to tape your eyes open, and we're going to just run through these TikToks and just get you trained. Because you got to see these are fake. These are skits. And the problem with these skits and fake things is that, okay, and they're not all the same, okay? They're not all the same. Some skits are funny. Some skits are insightful, poignant. But even this one points to some reality, that it touches on some reality, or, you know, some feasible nature in relationships, that this may have happened one time kind of thing. But it is not reality. Most relationships are just not as... they're supposed to be, at least, not as, how should I put it? Not as extreme. Okay, because people are a little bit more normal than TikTok and the movies trying to make it all seem. All this big act of love, and then the breakup and the up and the down. It is that, but kind of like the peaks and the valleys are a little bit more squashed together. You following here? They're a little bit more regular. And so it's a little unfair. Most people would go on a date, and, you know, I'm sure you've seen some of the videos, right? You'll see the woman who was saying, if a man asks me to go 50-50 on a date, I'm just going to hit him with one of these. Oh, I thought it was a date, and I'm going to make him feel bad. Or you'll get the guys, oh, I'll never, you got to pay for the date. You're the man. You got to do it. You're just supposed to. And you get all these people. But most dates today, from what I could tell, they're just more normal. Like maybe the guy pays and nobody even thinks about it because it's pretty normal. Or they both pay and most people don't really think about it because that's also normal. So people are, and not, maybe you get in your thoughts and you think, well, who did I just have a date with? I wonder what he thinks about that. And then maybe you can talk about it. Like, things are a little bit more normal. That being said, just because dating has evolved doesn't mean that they're doing it right. The youngins have seemed to have forgotten some normal things like men and women. But just like dating has evolved, I guess what I'm trying to say, I may be confusing here, but okay. What I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to point out is how there is a traditional thing, like the man pays for the date, but things have evolved. Now you don't really look like the man if you pay for the date. See, what hasn't evolved is men and women, the order, even in a fallen state, women want the man, they want his attention, he wants the sex, or a mother to his children. Those things are like timeless and will always be true. But the way that they interact and in social media and technology, those things have changed. And so you aren't really the man when you pay like that. They see you as a free meal, as a prospect out of her many prospects, and whatever mess. And it's not real. You know, women are on such an ego trip that you're almost doing her a disservice by paying for the meal like that and paying ahead and all that. Just, it should be chill and simple. Do you like the person? And it kind of works it out in stages, right? And when you leave the paying and the chivalry and the sex and you leave those things out, then you can see if you really like each other. I don't know. I think maybe I could be wrong about this. They talk about God will send you a woman. And I think that's like true, but not in the way we think about it, not in the way we have imagined it and romanticized it and made stories about it. Not in that, you know what I mean? It's like it does. He does in a way, I think. But yeah, not in the way we've romanticized it. It's just going to be like there will be someone. And then now you have this person, and now your only duty is to really get to know them. And you leave all the mess out of it, the sex and all that. Because that's just going to make things worse. It's going to lead to fights. No, I don't care who it is. I don't care what girl, she's churched up. I don't care who it is. The woman wants a man. The woman wants a man, and she wants it to be real. She wants a baby and not to be used. So, it's the same for, I don't care who it is. You start getting into all that stuff, she will. Some part of her, it'll start striking at that, where it's like, well, this man doesn't love me. He wants something else, and I want something, so it becomes manipulation. It becomes like the inverted world, dark, instead of it was all good and happy and hunky-dory, and it was like two kids getting to know each other, just two kids, and there's a little bit of romance. She's a girl, I'm a boy, but it was like normal, but it becomes dark with the sex. And I'm a little rambling at this point, but you follow me a little bit, huh? But yeah, that video's fake, in my opinion, and reality is a little bit more natural. What is that language? Churched up, Red Scout asks. Even churched up girls want a man. Please stop encouraging women to use cell phones while driving. Wait, what? What are y'all saying in the chat? Do you go 50-50? I go back and remember past debts. And I'm like, hey, wait a second. You remember when I paid for what so and so? Yeah, we gotta go halvesies on that. So let me just make the calculations on how much you owe me, and you can sell me right quick, huh? And then we'll be even Stevens, and it'll be all good. We're not married, although I can be kind of laissez-faire with my moolah when going out and doing dating and all that. But it's out of unawareness. If I remember, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, I paid for that. Let's go. You owe me a little money. Anyways, I got you, Carver. Thanks. What are y'all saying, huh? Have I missed super chats or something? Let me check. Let me do a little check-sees. I did read Carver's super chat. Attraction binary. Mild or not mild? I mean, keep it simple. Keep it simplice. And attraction too. I mean, that's too is like, what, lust? Did you ever watch... Oh, Harmony with a super chat there. Did you ever watch... No, I'd never watched this. What? I forget what it was too. Was it like a Canadian thing? One Pet Goat 2? A 2012 short film. Strange name. Is it One Pet Goat 2? 2012 Canadian animated short film. I remember you sent this to me. Harmony has been wanting me to watch this short film. How will I remember in this moment? If I walk away from this moment, Harmony, it could very well be I won't remember until you say it again. So I have to make this moment, burn it into my mind or into some technology that'll remind me. I know what I'll do. Let me copy paste this here into my Wednesday show. That way I don't forget. Right on, Harmony. Apologies on my insane mind that only remembers crap and like random things. I'll check it out, Harmony. Thank you for the super chat and the support. And my supporters over on Rumble. Thank you, DJ 2020. Thank you, thank you. I should check this earlier. I always see you chatting, and I see you're my supporter. I should always check Rumble a little earlier. Let's be honest, Bill. Why the loud clicking popping back in the headphones? Wait, really? Right now? Through this? I think through my setup, there should be no clicking or popping. No clicking or popping. One, is that how you pronounce it? Is that how you say the title? One Pet Goat 2? You're right, Harmony. That's 3 super chats. But this way I've written it down, I cannot miss it. One Pet... Is that how you say it, though? One Pet Goat 2 is a certified hood classic, says Will Cole. Nice. Am I having a health emergency? Or is my foot burning up like as if it's an acid? I might be having a health emergency, folks, but it's okay. I got some Buy Me a Coffees. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Appreciate that. That's Carver with the coffee says, hey, no. What the heck? Was this from the day before? Could I be wrong? Give me a sec. Oh, yeah, Carver's amazing coffee from yesterday. Very funny. Nick got gout. Is that what gout feels like? I'm fine. I'm healthy. Just don't drink so much soda. You know, I love Coca-Cola. We love sugar. We're not going to do all this sugar hating, all this macronutrient hating the world is doing. That doesn't mean you go crazy, though. I'm not saying I went crazy, but some people have been rocking the sugar and the Coca-Cola almost in my name, maybe, but you got to have balance, okay? Anyways. What shall we do next here? What else do I got for you? I mean, there was this amazing reporting done by Channel 5. You know, if you know Channel 5. I have shown you their reporting on Crip Mac before. liberal, basically. They're liberals. Some interesting reports on Philadelphia, the streets and the homeless and the border, though. Pretty interesting, especially for their liberal audience, to see them really put on display what many of us know all too well, the border and the streets. People go, I'm not really having, my foot's fine. It's totally fine now. I was just joking. I like overreacting. It's funny. And going on WebMD and finding out what this little feeling is going like, well, I'm dying. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Okay. So I need an amputation. Gout. How do you get gout? I had a chef who had gout. How do you get gout? I had a head chef who would never work on the line because he had gout. And I always thought it was an excuse. I'm like, oh yeah, you're gout again? That's why you're down here? And we're in the middle of rush, and you said you would be there? We got 200 covers, and your toe hurts? Your hands are fine. Just stand there. And cook, man. You got to sling food. I was a cook, if you didn't know. I was a cook for a lot of years. Many years. Many. What, 6, 7 years? That's many. That's a nice amount. Really developed some cooking. I wouldn't call myself a chef. I'm not really like that. Like at home, I'm definitely not a chef at home. Symptoms of gout. Uncontrolled gout. No. Just tell me how you get it. Gout main causes. We're learning about gout live. This is a riveting show, obviously. Look, I'll get to something interesting here. Severe intellectual disabilities, maybe. It's almost like the world is serving up news for me. I mentioned this Down syndrome holder of office in Spain. Yeah, it's a worldwide push, but we're dealing with gout right now, and Yahoo doesn't want to tell me. Understanding the science of gout. It's a kidney thing? No, I don't want to see a video. Can't you just give me a little thing on it? We're so deep, we got to find out. How do I get out of my own way? No. How do you get gout? Get out of my own way. That's actually a good question, Yahoo. How do I get out of my own way? Gout is a common and complex form of arthritis. It can affect anyone. Characterized by sudden, severe attacks of pain. Whoa, this picture of a swollen toe this is major. The causes, they occur when urate crystals accumulate in a joint, causing the inflammation and intense pain. Urate crystals can form when you have high levels of uric acid in your blood. Your body produces uric acid when it breaks down purines, substances that are found naturally in your bodies. Purines are in certain foods, red meat, organ meats, liver, purine-rich seafood, alcoholic beverages, sugar, fructose. Normally it dissolves. Sometimes you produce too much. So be healthy, okay? Be healthy. Don't do too much of anything. And be a little active. I think just a couple of those with a little consistency, you'll go a long way, I think. I asked Sean the other day about like stomach stuff, and I'm like, I feel a little upset sometimes in the mornings. And then I asked him, and I knew as soon as I asked him, he was telling me some tips and tricks. And I'm like, this is silly. I don't need these tips and tricks. The moment I asked Sean, I knew that I shouldn't have been asking if I wasn't serious about, being consistent. Don't eat too late. Eating pretty regular. You don't really get to complain and say, well, what tips and tricks, huh? What do I need, doc? What can I do to avoid? How about just eat normally? Keep it simple. We've made things quite complicated. Right? Anyways. They're saying these are the streets. Do I really want to do this segment?
This psychology was shared by even more.
Do I really want to do this segment? The streets of Philly. You know these. You got to understand these people are, they're not just doing regular drugs anymore. They're doing xylazine, where their limbs are like, they're just rotting. Their limbs are rotting. And they say it's because you miss and you can injure yourself by missing a vein and stuff. But anecdotal reports from these people in the streets say, I mean, just regular use of this drug, which hits harder than anything, like this guy says here. Look at this swollen arm. I'm showing you this is not a normal arm, obviously. Just swollen. Some of these people, it's gangrenous, but they'll keep coming back. This person's arm is swollen, like falling apart. And you'll keep pinning it. He'll keep pinning it with a needle to get that high. I mean, it's just not regular. I mean, how do I put this? It's just not. Obviously, this is the extreme. And there are choices and all that are involved, per se. A succession of choices where people end up in these situations. But at the same time, how do you explain choices when you have someone who will keep pinning their arm even while it's gangrenous and falling off? Like the doctors are telling them, hey, like, we're going to have to amputate. They're like, yeah, doc, just chop it off. Leave me a little flesh there so I can inject myself. Leave me an artery there, doc. I need somewhere to inject myself with this xylazine stuff. And, you know, there's a liberal, this reporter here, and he basically makes this like claim like, well, who's so evil? You have to be so evil to put this stuff out in the streets to get a buck and kill these people. But these people are doing it to themselves. The drug dealer, drug user phenomena. I always put just a little bit more responsibility on the drug user here. But the phenomena also is insightful in that, in context to free will and all that, you know, these people, many in this report, you find out they want to. There's some part of them, at least some part, wants to overcome. They just don't know how. Some people know how and they still don't want to. Okay, and it makes them mad hearing the truth and all that. And that's a different story. But some of these people have just never heard any other way. They hear what the world tells them. It's not that it's a disease. Oh, it's a disease and it's your circumstances because you're poor. And so you're in and all that, okay? And I'm showing you this because the liberals are just finding out just how bad it is. They're just starting to find out, I guess. Just like how they're just starting to find out that the census counts illegals to the states, that illegals there's pretty much nothing stopping them from voting in a federal presidential election. Some claims are being made here. Elon Musk seems to be. It looks like no one's really debunked Elon Musk there on that one. Not that I've seen.
I see my man hot. He don't even rap, but for the camera though, he was nice. Hey, that was
out in the streets of Philly. What did I want to show you about this?
Neglected, and now is the face of.
Oh, you know, I guess I wanted to sort of make a point about the American dream. And I may not be able to totally show this, but how do I put this? I've just been watching housing a little bit and some experts that I trust. Housing. And it's a mess. And it's a huge sham. There's 3 companies, Tricon, Invitation Homes, and American Homes for Rent. They own pretty much all single-family homes in America. Think about that company name, American Homes for Rent. They own it all. You will own nothing. drug dealer, drug user phenomena still in play here too. Why don't you own? Why do you own nothing? Why is it like that? What deficiency in yourself, right? 140 million homes in America. This is you gotta understand, this is a very sought after asset. Single family homes. What it means, the continuation of the American people, where the families of tomorrow will be raised. 140 million homes in America, 6% owned. 6% of America owns 2 or more. 48% will never own a home. 71% of California home sales were to Chinese and foreign in 2018. That's a kind of an amazing stat when you think about it. 71% of California home sales are to foreigners, Chinese and foreigners. Well, Chinese foreigners. Brings into, you start looking at those stats of replacement rates in a different way, and who will be replacing. And I guess I don't really have anything deep to say, to be honest. I was just pondering a little bit and looking at maps, and just the internal illusion that you get just from looking at a map, for example. And you look at big old America, and you think, well, okay, it can't be that bad. Okay, some things are bad, but it's still big old America, pretty much leading all the way. They're number one in the world, and by a lot. And, okay, maybe a bit of a downturn. Maybe some don't even see it, but Republicans, conservatives. But we'll bring it back. Just there's a little hiccup. But it's actually way worse. All the wealth is like consolidated into the coasts. I was reading about how it used to be that the wealth was, America was doing so well that it was spread out throughout the whole country, the Midwest, or the flyover states as they now call them. It wasn't always like that. It's almost a sad commentary that there's this whole phenomena, flyover states, companies, business just leaving those areas, industries just leaving, outsourcing, demographic change being just absolutely horrible to the South, the flyover states, Midwest. And you think it's like, actually, well, America's just like what? Some universities, 2 points of power, and like that's it. 2 points of commerce, and like that's it. And some universities and what some, I guess, tech innovations. And when you compare it to the world, it's really no different. Most of the main economies of the world, it's like that too. 1, 2 centers of commerce, a university or 2. We're not like that ahead. It's all kind of propped up. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that call of Robert from Kansas who called me, I think yesterday. And it was just some interesting points about the big old Ponzi scheme that's being played. We're thinking it's all hunky-dory, kind of going well. Puts into context the whole Trump movement, right? Make America great again. It hits harder. Because it's like, it's not great. It's not working out. It's just not. It's kind of propped up. It's being pilfered. The coffers are being pilfered by enemies. And the American public loses. So it hits harder. And all that. And that's why we wish him well. That's why we still rolling with Trump. Shout out to Ponzi. That's funny. Shout out to the Ponzis. Those were like actual people, right? The Italians. Are these Italians? Charles Ponzi, Italian businessman and con artist. Charles Ponzi. Was he a Christian? Was he a Catholic? What a mess. Italian businessman. Italian swindler, says Wikipedia. Italian swindler. Catholic. Whatever. I'm sorry. That's the sound of me trying to find text in this article. Yeah, thank you for that. Buymeacoffee.com/American. Buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby, I mean. In fact, I have a T-Mac with 2 coffees there. Says, have a great week, Nicolas. In Jesse's voice. Oh, in Jesse's voice. How does Jesse say it? I can't think of it right now. T-Mac? I can't quite think of it right now. Yeah, I can't quite think of how Jesse would say Nicholas. Calls me Anchor Baby. Hey, Anchor Baby. Flying high. That's been bad for the brownie naysayers in the chat. All this flying high talk has been horrible for my reputation. No, I'm joking. So I guess I might as well show you this since I did mention it. Down syndrome. I showed you this this 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎, this individual here, who is apparently the most based politician in Spain. 𝒔𝒊𝒂𝒎 becomes Spain's first parliamentarian with Down syndrome, a staunch traditionalist. By the way, Mar represents the Conservative People's Party. I wonder how she's doing, huh? Wouldn't it be funny if she turns out to be super, just beyond based? They say she's a staunch traditionalist. And you know what? She's not like other gals. She's not like other girls. She's not quite like other women. And she just might be the most based politician in Spain. Double the chromosomes. Maybe she... Kick him out. No más. Oh, I can't speak Italian. What am I saying? No more immigrants. She deports them all, day one. Just no emotion. FAA's diversity push. You know, we've been talking a little bit about this. Waiting for the big one. And I'm not waiting gleefully. It's definitely a dark thing, actually. Because what I'm talking about is people are going to die. So, and I'm not doing a George Carlin bit. I don't like it when people die. But FAA's diversity push includes focus on hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities, says New York Post. Reports New York Post here. You know, we saw the door plug fall off. We saw the plug. We've seen the diversity air traffic controllers. We've seen the all-women cockpits, the all-women flights. We've seen this. They really are doing this with the intellectual disabilities, they call it now. And now, I was thinking the same thing, Hake. They say severe. They make that clear, too. They make it clear that the FAA is pushing for hiring people with severe intellectual and psychiatric disabilities. The Federal Aviation Administration is actively recruiting workers who suffer severe intellectual disabilities and psychiatric problems and other mental and physical conditions under a diversity and inclusion hiring initiative spelled out on the agency's website. I mean, I say the big one, but it seem like this is all pushing for this event that it seems like might one day hit, that I sure hope doesn't, where a plane and its souls on board are deleted in an event that could seemingly be avoided with more skilled people. Targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA website states. So they're going along with government here. They're just following the government guidelines here. So the targeted disabilities are those disabilities that the federal government, as a matter of policy, has identified for special emphasis in recruitment and hiring. The FAA's website reads, they include hearing, vision, missing extremities, partial paralysis, complete paralysis, epilepsy, and severe intellectual disability, psychiatric disability, and dwarfism. I gotta say, all things that kind of preclude you from flying a plane safely. I mean, honestly, just one of those is enough to make it a little bit more dangerous that you are a pilot. If you are deficient in hearing, vision, if you're missing an extremity, if you're partially or completely paralyzed, if you get epilepsy, if you're severely intellectually disabled. I think all of those, I think this is enough. I think that's enough with this. I think we can all agree. I don't think it's rude. I don't think it's bigoted. I don't think anybody, I think the vast majority of the world will agree here. I really don't think. Even the people saying, well, if they could prove it, if they got the stuff, even with the disability, if they could pass a test or prove they could do the job, even those folks, I think most people will agree here that we can all agree. I don't think it's mean to say that you're missing extremities, partially or completely paralyzed and all those things. You shouldn't be flying a plane. You probably shouldn't be directing planes around. You probably shouldn't be doing any of those. I don't think that's controversial to say. If you have gout, you're out. The FAA's website shows the agency's guidelines on diversity hiring. The initiative is part of FAA's Diversity and Inclusion Hiring Plan, which claims diversity is integral to achieving the FAA's mission of ensuring safe and efficient travel. So they say they're following what the government is saying. I mean, the FAA is the government, right? The federal, they're citing the federal government, but the FAA is the government, no? Anyways, they cite the government, but they themselves are saying it's integral to achieving their mission. So they believe in this all the way. They're all about diversity here. The FAA's website, which is overseen by Secretary 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, Department of Transportation, is a government agency, thank you, New York Post, charged with regulating civil aviation and employs roughly 45,000 people. All eyes have been on the FAA and airline industry in recent days after a plug door on a Boeing 737 MAX blew out during an Alaska Airlines flight earlier this month. I'm sure many of you are aware of that one. There's this extensive inspection. I don't know what's going on with that. Who was at fault with that one, huh? Who left the door plug unplugged? The FAA added it would increase its oversight of Boeing following the incident and all that mess. So people are mad about it. I think justifiably. I mean, just wait for them to be city council and then politicians holding office in America. It's what's stopping it? What's stopping it? Spain's got their first one. The dominoes fall. Carlota says, I'll never fly again. I'm honestly feeling the same way. Like, I'm just not going to fly until I don't need to fly. What's the ego about? Oh, my Canada. Oh, my Canada. It's okay. I don't need to fly up until the big one hits. And I definitely don't want that to happen. The big one, gout causes you to get blood clots with elevation and landing. What? Are you serious? We don't want those. What a mess. Gout, not gout. What if you're one of those jerky people who jerk around uncontrollably, but you're supposed to direct the plane? Well, there's a place for you too. You shouldn't be discriminated against. It's over for Nick and his gout. Okay, so you guys just took that and ran, huh? Nick's gout, it's over. It's over, guys. It's pretty much over for me, to be honest, when we think about it. Yeah, I mean, my time's done. My time's done. I already had my chance. And look at what I did. I had my chance. My time's done, and now I got gout. And what do I got with my life? It's time to just give it up to the Lord, to a charity. Give my life up to charity. Bond. For something good in the world. The blood clots can form in your extremities from being immobile for several hours. Oh, God. God gout clot confirmed. You guys are freaking me out. You guys are WebMD in the chat. Don't you know you're not supposed to look up your symptoms? Oh, man. Thank you, Lamps, with the coffee. It says heavy topics. Are you making fun of me? We got the most important topics here on the Nick stream, on American Anchor Baby. We only talk about the most important things. And thank you, Lamps, for noticing over on buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. With the coffee there. Heavy topics. You know it. Only the hardest here. But what was I telling you? What was I showing you? They're talking about Fani Willis. I almost want to end it off here with one last thing. What should we end it off with? Fani Willis. Should we do Fani Willis? Now, what's the big story about it? Rick from Hampton, Virginia was trying to call about this. Where did I put it? If you don't know who she is, Fani Willis is the district attorney, Fulton County, Georgia. She's the one who's got one of these, I guess, civil. Was it one of the civil suits against Trump? Taking heat for reckless, stupid, alleged relationship with a prosecutor in the Trump case. Reports Fox. Kind of messy, kind of raggedy, Fox. Isn't this a raggedy story for y'all? Well, this has to do with, like, Trump and all that. So she's in the middle of this allegations, okay? They're talking about relationship stuff. And she could face criminal charges, they're saying. Okay? Hold on. And I had this clip of her speaking. I thought I'd show you. Because it's embarrassing. They go right into this racism stuff. It should almost be clear for us that anytime they're using these words, they're obfuscating and trying to distract from the main thing, from anything real. When they use the isms, when they use racism and all that, you should know that it's a smokescreen. It's a red herring. You should know this. But she's being accused of paying prosecutor in Trump case and having a relationship with this person. And she broke her silence, okay? Over this Donald Trump case prosecutor, USA Today reports. Fani Willis has defended her hiring of private attorney Nathan Wade as the lead prosecutor in the election fraud case against former President Donald Trump, suggesting that those that have questioned his ability are being unfair and possibly racist. Willis made her remarks Sunday at the Big Bethel AME Church in Atlanta. When the church, the black church, is so complicit always in this racism stuff. They really, truly hate black people. The black church and black leaders, and you know this work has been laid to rest by Jesse Lee Peterson. You know this very well. But they hate black people. They truly do. They don't want them to overcome and get better. And they go to the church and they bring Fani Willis and they say, well, look, they're just being racist. Just simply using that word is a disservice to black people and to America and the world. So they're at the church 6 days after one of Trump's 14 remaining co-defendants accused her of having an improper romantic relationship with Wade that was serious enough to have them both thrown off the case. Willis said Wade was not only a great friend, but an experienced and well-respected lawyer with the impeccable credentials. Willis talked about how she hired two other lawyers, a white man and a white woman, to also help her prosecute. You know, people like to bring up the racial part of this, and I don't think it's unfair. The black man I chose has been a judge for more than 10 years. I mean, I might as well just show you some of this clip. I guess it's just ridiculous. It's not even that deep here. What's deep is the anger. What's deep is the sides, and what's deep is the lies, the brazen lies that angry people will be willing to do. And angry people are so willing and so easily believe, and I think because you're willing. You're a hateful person. You want to see Trump go down. And you're so just willing to believe crap like this. I wonder, is it hitting Georgia? Is it hitting? Do you think Do you think this will work on them as well? I mean, the track record doesn't speak well. No amount of trouble with Lori Lightfoot's woke up the blacks in Chicago. It just took another smooth talking politician talking about racism to get him to do it all over again. So it really is a matter of the heart. We need a grand revival. So anyways, it's just ridiculous at this point, but we got some minutes left here. I want to show you.
All the glory I receive is his grace.
Oh, I gotta use this for Bible Thumper Thursday or something. Yes, loud. We need some soaking music.
All the glory I receive is his grace.
Preach up.
Not a perfect me. We are at a time in history, people. Hear me on this. We are at a time in history when you can no longer sit back and just let other folks do it. You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world.
Obviously this is low-hanging fruit at this point, but we'll have some fun with this. I mean, you cannot. What's the relationship between those two statements there, Fani Willis? I'm gonna need a translator. Someone. Usually, you got to be a little bit more masterful in your chaining of ideas. You know, when you're trying to fool the public here. Usually, you need a couple more steps in between your words here, in between the jumps of logic here. You don't want to make too big of a leap, because then people catch on. People kind of catch on here. So I don't know what the relationship is between the two statements about, well, at a time we can't just sit back, okay? We got to do stuff. We got to make things happen. We got to, because it's a mess, right, folks? And so anyways, you can't judge black people. You can't judge black women, okay? You can't expect black women to be perfect, by the way, folks. It's a bit of a jump there. Too large of a jump. Just giving you some advice here, Fani Willis, on your next one. You might need better speech writers, or I don't know what it is here. Maybe you wrote it yourself. I'd say have a couple more permutations before you get to the punchline, and people will be more hypnotized by that point. Just some advice.
You cannot expect black women to be perfect and save the world. The Lord is complete.
I'm here trying to save the world, and you expect me to save the world just like that? I'm going to make some mistakes along the way, okay?
We are not perfect. We need your prayers. We need to be allowed to stumble. We need grace.
We need your prayers.
With that kind of support, we will move mountains and do Jesus' will. Stumbling all the way.
Stumbling all the way, she says, but the mountain will be moved, okay, in Jesus' name.
So his flawed, hard-headed, and imperfect child has a message for each of you today. Please find a way to do your extraordinary, God-given assignment and make this community and the world.
God has the worst. God gets the worst, rap in America. God gets called on to save these people. He gets called on to save their reputation. God gets called on to save these people's reputation time and time again. Oh, just pray. Look at this God-fearing woman. I mean, I don't know if this is working on anybody, but it's hard to say. Sometimes I'm stuck between people are really, their hearts are gone and their minds are degenerated and they're just going to vote for the same crap. But I also see people, they kind of see through some of this. So I don't know where we're at. Where are we at, America? I don't know.
Better place for all of his people.
For all of his people.
It is never about who you are. It is always about the great I am.
Man, I want to be a preacher. Do you think I could do it, guys? Nick, you guys better cut up this clip. It's a good clip username? Right on. I think I could be a preacher. I bet you I could be a preacher. Come on. Please, 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 please. Just say nothing.
See, we are all flawed. damage, but we are qualified upon his calling.
Oh.
You can find common ground with people of all different.
I may be beat up. I may be I may be a liar. I may be no good. I may be full of flaws and need help every step of the way from my Heavenly Father. But I am still his daughter. I am still his daughter. And you know what I mean? I kind of can freestyle some of this. I can freestyle a little bit of this.
Ideologies. If you simply
I may be deaf, dumb, retarded, blind, evil.
Yourself to being obedient and steadfast in your efforts and his word. If you commit yourself, God will turn your hard-headed self into the extraordinary for his kingdom. Thank you.
Amazing. I gotta love it. We just had church. I'm gonna have to use that for Bible Thumper Thursday. A little bit ridiculous, low hanging, but hey, I had fun with that one. Fani Willis speaking with authority. If any woman speaks with authority, it's Fani. Right on, Hake. That's funny. And that's pretty much the show. Hope you enjoyed it. I had fun. We got more American Anchor Baby tomorrow, Wednesday. Don't miss it. I believe Jesse's back. I think we'll have Jesse back for Manhood Hour. Don't miss it. Joel Friday. And the Hake Report. Gotta love it. It's all coming together. That's it from me, though. I will see y'all tomorrow. So let me say bye. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anybody here. Thank you so much to all the supporters there. Super chatting away. Leave a like. Subscribe. Follow. If you don't like what you saw, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. But that's pretty much it. And I can confirm that that's pretty much it. And I'm going to say bye. So see y'all. Bye. And Lil Nick too. Bye.